I've been wanting to make a video on my thoughts with Charlie Kirk's death for a while. I just haven't figured out a proper way to format it. I have an idea. I want to start this off by saying I don't think political violence is good in any form. Like, I don't think people should be killed for their political opinions, no matter how awful they are. I believe in something kind of akin to FDR's big stick ideology. You speak softly and carry a big stick. You can get peace through strength. You can show demonstrations of strength. United we stand, together we fall, but you shouldn't use that force. It should be more so as a deterrent rather than a action or committing murder on someone. I don't like death. I don't like gun death. I think we should have gun control to limit gun deaths, which is not something that Charlie Kirk believed in. I think there's a few good videos on the topic. I think this clip from Jon Stewart's The Daily Show is pretty good about Jimmy Kimmel getting deplatformed for very minor criticism. Like, this is just censorship. It's violation of the First Amendment. Call me woke, but I think the First Amendment is a good thing. I think we should be allowed to criticize the government. We should be allowed to criticize people. Protesting should be fine. We should be able to demonstrate civil disobedience. And that's what I believe in. Sorry if that's too woke, but there is a good clip here that I wanted to show of a lot of Charlie Kirk's beliefs. Now, this was a bit too long. It's 6 minutes, 30 seconds. I don't want to just sit through that playing while I just sit here silently. So I edited it down just a little bit to around 1 minute. This is just some of the highlights. I know a lot of you are going to say, you took this out of context. This is... Yeah, you took this out of context. I can assure you, the context in most cases makes it a lot worse. And no context can really explain a lot of what is said.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
The war on white people continues.
You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today. Data shows they were actually better in the 1940s.
Let's get loud for Kyle Rittenhouse.
I'm also going to offer some context and some nuance about the death of George Floyd that no one dares to say out loud, which is that this guy was a scumbag. Remember what BLM stands for? Burn, loot, and prowling blacks go around for fun to go talk.
Okay, I did a bad editing job here. This was... murder, I think. Yeah, burn, loot, and murder is what he said. Sorry about that. I will include the original video in the description so you guys can go watch the full unedited. Or I guess it's an edited video. I didn't include this music, but I wanted to trim it down.
Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact.
There's no such thing as white privilege or racism.
Thomas Sowell and Justice Clarence Thomas are far better black role models to celebrate than Martin Luther King.
This guy is not worthy of a national holiday. There's a mythology around MLK that does not warrant the reverence that he gets treated with in America.
We have a federal holiday to a guy that talked about race all the time. Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. We celebrate the Civil Rights Act more than the American founding. The country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also, why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right?
So materially insane to think that 1 in 5 American women will be raped in their life.
It is, I agree.
No, meaning that they're lying about being raped. That
You're comparing abortion to the Holocaust.
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse. By the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many appeals.
Expensive.
It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised. At what age should you start to see public execution?
16.
I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12.
I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. A lot. I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled, Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
The Democrat Party believes everything that God hates.
Like, we're dealing with maggots, vermin, and swine here. These are not good people. They're not even a little bit good. As top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. If some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
We actually need looser gun laws because I think that Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a very classic case of you reap what you sow. This is a man that spread unimaginable quantities of hate within his time. I'm against any death or murder or violent act. He was very pro the assault on Paul Pelosi. Pretty much all of the GOP was. They weren't out there being like, oh, you have to condemn this violence. No. It's a very clear double standard here. He'd advocated for so much hate and violence. I think it's frankly silly that so many people are treating him as a hero. I think what happened was unfortunate. I don't think he deserves to die. That's not a controversial opinion. But he spread so much hate. Like an unbelievable amount. There is no way that this man is looking down on us. He is absolutely looking up. And that does pain me to say. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think we should be celebrating his death, which most people aren't, I should clarify. I think it's tragic. He will never get the chance to become a better person because he's dead now. Granted, he has had every opportunity to change, right his wrongs, and he hasn't. I think it's really sad, honestly. But to treat him as some sort of hero, someone who spread love, it's frankly not true at all. He did what I believe to be one of the most demonic and satanic things, which is use the Lord's name to spread fear and hate. He didn't go around spreading love. He didn't go around trying to help people. He went around inciting violence and inciting hate. That is the most unchristian thing I can think of. I was raised to love one another, treat others how you want to be treated. Ironically enough, he did get treated how he treats others. He said, I think some gun deaths are necessary to keep the Second Amendment. Well, sorry to tell you, buddy, you were one of those deaths. And I do think this is a Reichstag moment for our country. For those of you who are unaware, the Reichstag fire is what happened in Nazi Germany around 4 weeks after Adolf Hitler took power. Basically, some communists came, burned down the building. What did they do? They weaponized that fire, that arson attack, to crack down on speech and political opponents. You can see here, suspending liberties and pursuing a ruthless confrontation with the communists. Basically, they weaponized this crime to further their political control, which is exactly what's happening here. You can see The president and a lot of people around him saying, oh, this is far left extremists. We need to cancel them. We need to put them in jail. We need to deport them. We need to arrest them, execute them, all that stuff, which is insane. We did not get this same reaction from the right when I think it was two Minnesota lawmakers were killed. Some of you may not have known that. It was a few months ago. I was spending time with my boyfriend when it happened. I checked my phone on Blue Sky. I saw that there was, I believe it was two Minnesota lawmakers that were executed. One of them was executed in their home, I believe, by a far right extremist. The GOP never said anything about that. I mean, even Obama came out and condemned the death of Charlie Kirk, but said nothing on the death of two Democratic Minnesota lawmakers. The double standards here are insane. To say that this is some far left issue, it's ridiculous. The vast majority of political violence is committed by right wing people. I wish I had thought ahead of time to bring up the statistics for that, but I didn't. It's very easily available, though. Just do a quick Google search on political violence and the ideological associations with that. Overwhelmingly, the far right, overwhelmingly neo Nazis, white nationalists, KKK, things like that. Side note: I do think it's so absurd that we have Trump trying to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization. First of all, Antifa is like non-centralized. I can pull it up here on Wikipedia. Antifa. It is decentralized. That means they aren't like coordinated. Antifa stands for anti-fascist. If you are anti-fascist, that is just fascism. You can say, oh, Antifa does a lot of violent things. I mean, not as not I'm not too well read on Antifa, but I do know that they've done a lot less political violence than right wing or extreme right wing groups like neo Nazis. And I think it's weird that they're targeting Antifa as we're going to designate them as terrorist groups, but the KKK, the neo Nazi groups, white nationalist movements, those aren't domestic terrorist organizations. Why not go after, as it says here, far right extremists and neo Nazis? I don't like violence in any form, but there is such a vivid and clear double standard here. They're targeting their political opponents. They're targeting free speech, trying to arrest people. It's insane. And it's definitely scary times. I think they're trying to designate trans people as like extremists as well, which is insane that you would just designate all trans people as an extremist group. I can't remember the exact termage they used there. But like, that's wild. I have no criminal record. To think that I could be designated as like a terrorist or an extremist organization just because I take two funny little pills. Like, that's absurd. I don't know. I I think all political violence is it's tragic. It's why I'm in favor of gun restrictions. I'm in favor of prosecution of those who add to the flames of stochastic terrorism. I'm in favor of a lot of these things. So sucks to see that they're pursuing people who are exercising their free speech and not doing terrorism instead of focusing on the far right people like the KKK, the neo Nazis, who are doing a lot of that violence. And I've also seen a lot of people try to pin things on like trans people or the left when it comes to Charlie Kirk's assassination. The guy who did the murder, I don't remember his name. He basically centrist. Like he's middle of the road. A lot of the people in his Discord group were talking about how he doesn't really involve himself in politics. He came from a very conservative household, Mormon, uh, around guns from a really young age. People will say he dated a trans person, which, fair, but the trans person didn't do the crime. Like, the trans person wasn't the one who killed Charlie Kirk. And even the law enforcement has said that the trans person was very cooperative with the law enforcement. So I don't see what the issue is here. The trans person did everything right in this scenario. They cooperated with the law enforcement. They texted the shooter saying, "Why would you do this?" Like stuff like that. Like they didn't condone the violence. The trans person did everything that they could, and they're still getting blamed for it. And I do think it's despicable how the media is covering them, like saying, "Oh, this man," like no, just it's just disrespectful. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, "Ooh, cancellation," but I just think it's weird. Like she did everything right. She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't kill Charlie Kirk. It was the guy. She didn't do anything wrong. Why are you bringing her into this? I think it's stupid. And scary times. We'll see where it goes. Um, I'm hoping that we get through this. Alright, yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to. Sorry if I kind of rambled a little bit. Alright, see ya.